Team Fox coverage continues. Conor Powell live in Jerusalem. What else are we learning about these files, Conor?
Well, Shepard, as we've talked about many times, it's no secret that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is a staunch critic of the nuclear agreement. He's been warning about Iran's nuclear ambitions for literally decades now. And tonight he presented some 183 CDs and 55,000 pages of documents that he says catalog Iran's nuclear program. Now, these documents primarily date from the 1990s and early 2000s, at a time when Iran was denying its nuclear ambitions and its nuclear program. A lot of this information was made public in the 2011 National Intelligence Estimate, which cataloged also Iran's nuclear program. Netanyahu is making the argument tonight that this is proof that Iran has lied about its nuclear program in the past and therefore can't be trusted going forward, and then essentially rendering the current agreement null and void. Now, it should be pointed out that Netanyahu, while he implied, he did not actually say that Iran has reconstituted its nuclear program. And this is important because just a few days ago on Capitol Hill, Secretary of Defense Mattis said that Iran is still in compliance with the agreement. And this is where the sort of rub comes in this entire disagreement about the agreement going forward. Mattis and others say that Iran is complying. Netanyahu and those who are critics, like President Trump, say that essentially Iran can't be trusted. They've lied in the past, and they will lie in the future, Shepard.
And the Israelis aren't a party to this deal, whether that's neither here nor there. It all comes as the tensions are getting so high, Conor. Israel, Syria, Iran, and really a difficult mix at the moment.
Yeah, and this is important because while there's this huge international debate about the Iranian nuclear agreement, on the ground in Syria, there's escalating tensions between the Israelis and the Iranians. Iran has been a huge supporter of the Assad regime. Their presence has grown in recent months and years in Syria. And the Israelis in the past had targeted and launched airstrikes against the transfer of weapons to militant groups. But in the last couple of weeks, twice, including just last night, 2 days ago, the Israelis have launched airstrikes targeting Iranian foothold and presence in Syria. This is significant because this is a conventional war that we could be seeing sort of brewing right before our eyes. The Iranians have threatened the Israelis. The Israelis have said that they will not tolerate an Iranian presence along their border. What happens on the nuclear agreement is one thing. We may get to a real hot war on the ground in Syria between Israel and Iran before we even have a decision about whether or not the U.S. will pull out of this nuclear agreement, Shepard. This is what we're watching here right now in the region right now.
Conor Powell live tonight in our Jerusalem newsroom.